hello, folks. How is everyone doing tonight? Okay, let me get a link here for Facebook that I will get to work. Okay. Link, shareable link. Okay. Alright. Let's see if I can do some damage here today. Alright, so hello everyone. Tracy here from onlylinux.org. I created the website. I'm a Linux guy. I actually switched this, this previous year. Sometime during the year, I completely dumped Windows on all my machines. I will never have Windows, anything Microsoft or Google on my stuff. There is one product that I do use that is a Google thing, but I'm not going to show you what I do, but I use the Google Authenticator for, and I rarely play games anymore. I'm more into Linux than any kind of games. I just want to make sure games that I played before that I would play now work on Linux. And I like for my games to work without internet. So we all know when it's stormy, when there's issues, our games, our internet games just don't work. Well, I like them to work. So that's where I come into play. I like to, I'm not a big fan of things that don't work. When you pay for something, it should work at all times, right? That's just the way I look at it. So tonight I am going to build a local repo. So I'm going to drag this over here. Check some things out real quick. You can't see me working in the background. Alright, I'm going to drag this back over. Here is a local repo that I've already created. As you know, some of you may know, I created a Linux operating system myself. It's called Only Linux OS. As you can see from my background picture, this is my first go. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but I'm going around. My first go was to have an Arch backing and a Fedora backing. I think these two systems, Linux distributions, have the best package managers. I like them over a Debian based system. So, and Debian's it's a little better when you use another front end for like APT. APT is the package manager system for Debian based systems. I always used a program called Nala. I did not design this, but that guy, whoever designed it, is they're smarter than me in Linux. I'm on Windows, X Windows. I learned to do all my coding and everything in Windows, so I'm kind of what you would call pamper stage Linux development and stuff like that. So, but I just like the package manager, the ability that I have to learn really quick in Fedora and Arch versus the Debian. There's some programs that I use, like this program right here. I'll show you. This is Core Control. Let me maximize my screen here. This is a really important package for any gamers or anything like that. It helps you, as you can see here, it helps you monitor your temperature of your processor and your speed of your fans and stuff like that. when you're gaming, when you're maxing your resources out, it's really important to know, all these things, and it's got different settings that you could do, to make your experience better. But what is this? Let me hit. Or did I make a change? Just showing you guys I might have. Nope, I didn't. I don't know why it's wanting me to save it. But, all right, let me go back to here. Exit out of here. So, and as smart as I am, I'm not like the smartest person on the planet, but I'm smarter than I let it know. And I don't need kudos. I don't need medals, things like that. I just like what I do, so that's just why I do this. I like my freedom. That's why I'm a Linux guy, because there's freedom in Linux, and there just simply isn't in Windows. There just simply is not in Windows. All these packages that you see that I have, all these BLC, Rhythm Box, all this, OBS Studio, Kden Lives I use for editing videos. I use Audacity for editing sound. I play my sound with Rhythm Box, and I play videos and such with BLC. And I like the if you're familiar with Linux, Flatpak of VLC is better than the what I found on the repository. So I use the Flatpak. The features just I don't know why there's such a problem playing things, but the Flatpak just works right out of the box. You install it, you're good to go. So anyway, back to the repo. So let me bring up that window again here. I've already created the folders that I needed, and I've actually got my repo products here, but I want to show you what I do to get that in there. And what we'll do, I'll just delete my repo. Below, gone. My repo will not work. So if I bring up a terminal here, I hit Control-Alt-T. Let's hit Stationer. Let me see if I'm running on my system. Alright, yep. Distribution, only Linux OS. So, let's quit there. Let me see here. So if I was to do update my system by typing sudo is what you would use that on any distro to run your elevated privileges to run like updates and stuff like that. Sometimes you can't update in sudo. It's not recommended to do that. But to update, like use Pac-Man. Can't type tonight. I'm just upset about something else, and I hope I can get through this. So I use a sudo pacman -S. Then we're going to do a lowercase y, another lowercase y, and then a lowercase uu. Oh, uu, not oh. And this will, if you're just going to update the system, this will update. I think it refreshes the mirrors and stuff. You don't really need to, and actually you could just do this, and it should not work. It should get an error. Yeah, see, only Linux repo, it failed to download because I just deleted every package I had in it. And I don't have a lot of packages. I'm not, certain packages you wouldn't need, of course, but, and actually some of the packages that are in my repo would do, it would offer me no use. It would, I would be able to install it on my local computer without internet, but having a browser without internet is there's no point in having one, really. Really no. You could set up a home network, which is really easy, but you don't need a browser to view BIOS from your other computers. That's another video later on down the road. We'll talk about that. But so we're going to create a repo. So I'm going to take down the terminal here. Let's see, and then we're going to go to home here, As you can see, here's my repo. It's empty. Well, this part is empty. Okay, where the files go is empty. So let's go. Let me pull up my browser here. Well, I use Brave browser. Here's my browser. And I want to... there's some packages on the AUR that I use. So we could do RuneScape. That's a game. I keep it around. My wife plays it a lot, and I like that. I like to play it too. Let's see, launcher. So you find the RuneScape launcher here, the RuneScape game client, and it's not in the red, so we're good. We can create this. And I'm going to go over here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Download snapshot. And it's going to go in my downloads folder. I'm going to save that. Shouldn't take too long. I'm only going to show you how, because I've got all this stuff downloaded. I've already done this. There's an update. So let's go break my folder up, go to downloads, and you can see there's the folder I downloaded. So I want to right click this folder. Now you got to have an archive manager on your system. I use Nemo, Cinnamon. I use the Cinnamon desktop environment. It's my favorite one. I haven't tried them all, but the ones I've tried I really haven't liked as much as the features that I can get out of Cinnamon, so I use it. So anyway, I use Nemo File Roller. I install Nemo File Roller. I'll show you each step that I do. So let's maximize this. Double click, or you could hit this. I always usually double click. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm gonna take the fonts up. It's at 18. That's really kind of enough. Complain in my comments if you guys can't see this. So I would go sudo pacman capital dash capital S, then type in Nemo File Roller, and I always install File dash Roller as well, and it's going to come up that I've already got it installed. And I always like to open my files with LeafPad, so I'm going to make sure that all that's installed. It should be. Yeah, it's reinstalling it all. Hit yes. You don't have to hit yes in Arch. You can just hit enter and it will assume yes. But so those are installed. All right. I'm going to minimize that, and we're going to go back to my folder here. So I'm going to right click that, and that's when, if I didn't have Nemo File Roller or File Roller, extract here, compress, nothing would, there should be a compress thing here. Oh, okay. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So if I was to do this, and I can compress all that into a certain file, but I don't need to do that right now. So let's go back into the repo here. Nope. I lied. We're going back to the downloads folder. I'm going to right click this, and I'm going to extract here. So I'm going to open this. This is the file. I'm going to right click here and open in terminal. Clear, and you can see right here I'm in the terminal here. And I'm going to type in make package, and I'm going to short the package to PKG, and I'm going to hit enter. And as long as I got all the dependencies, the files on my computer that are required to run this program, it should work. If not, it will give me the list of the dependencies that I do not have, and I would have to download them. So let's hit make package, and I've got all the packages. So it's building, it's doing the build, which is I think CMake and some other things that it would require. CMake is what a lot of people use to build files, to build packages. So that's done. So I can close out of this. And here is the file that I need. So I need to take this out. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to go to my home. I'm going to go back into my repo folder. And this is the folder I created inside the repo folder. Because it's a 64-bit. And we're going to dump that right here. Paste that in there. So that's in there. So you've seen that I've downloaded, how I downloaded that. So now I'm going to find my I'm going to go to my backup drive. This repo. I'm going to bring this. Paste that. I'm going to paste the ones I deleted. So these are all the files that we're assuming, and I downloaded those and copy. You don't have to cut them out. You could just copy and paste so you have it to use again later for something. So now I need to actually add these files to the repo. So I'm going to bring another terminal up in the folder. Let's maximize this, and to do that we're going to type repo -add, and the name of the repo, you need to type it exactly how it is. It was only Linux. I capitalized the O and the L. OS -repo .db .tar .gz. And this should put the that file in. It should add that file to a repo. It'll add them all. I'll show you what it does. It should be blank. See, it says no packages remain created. Empty. It created an empty database. So now I need to add all those files to the database, and I do that by the command's kind of the same. You just hit all I did was since I already read it, you just hit the arrow up key. Oh, hold on. Oh Lord. That didn't work. That's funny. So why didn't that work? I can't believe that didn't work. Oh, because I ended the terminal, didn't I? Yeah, I ended the terminal. That's a new one. Alright, so let's see. Repo. Repo.db .tar.gz. Let's type that again. It should, yeah, it already did. So now I can type arrow up, and there it is. Now I'm going to type dot / asterisk. I might be able to just, I might not need the / asterisk dot. Then we're going to do tar dot gz dot. Let's see, tar dot gz. Now cheat. I'm cheating. I'm going to cheat. I've already got this. Where's my memory at tonight? All right, my documents here. Linux, Arch Linux. My only Linux files that I do. CST. I'm going to bring this up over here, and I'm going to just do some copy and pasting. So, first one I did was what in the world is going on here? All right. So this is what I already did. It's the first one I did, remember right? It's already created, so now I could type in the next line. I had a brain fart, so I'm just copying and pasting. And as you can see, it's the same command plus a *tar.zst. Let's hit enter on that, and it adds those. The XZs. Oh, Zoom. Yeah, Zoom is got an XZ, so. But it's safe. Just should run all these commands. You just want to make sure when you're making your repo, you add all different file types. It's usually one of these three or a combination of these three. I mean, you can just look in the file and find out. So to make life a little easier for you. But I just do them all, and once that's done, you can exit out. So you can see, let's go to the repo again. And you can see the list, the kind of files. Let's arrange them by type. Like, got package.tar.zst.gz. Oh, no, that's not that one. That package.tar.zst, package.tar.zst, package.tar.xz. So you know what kind you got in there. And it creates these 4 files here, okay? I've seen some videos where people just use this. They keep everything in here. I don't know how their repo works, because here's what I'm going to show you to do, and I recommend that you do this, because when you're typing in the update to update your system, it's looking for the database file. It's actually wanting the file. It's wanting that package. It's not wanting a symbolic link or anything like that. It's looking for that package. So what I found is if I delete all this, just trust me, delete it. Those are gone. Okay, those are gone. So, and then you notice these 2 files that it creates as well. It creates 6 files, and these are the ones that look like the same. I'm going to rename these what those were, the 2 folders on the end were. So I'm going to go rename. Now it's only Linux OS repo.db, and these are the files. And it renames them. These are the files. So now what happens when I update? Let's see what happens. See, now it's doing the update. See that? And hit enter for yes. So now my system's updated. Let's do the full one. See, this is the amount that's in there and how fast it's rolling, all that stuff. So it's updated. Wow, it worked. Isn't that cool? So I successfully just showed you how to create a repo. Let's retrace the steps so we're aware. So I'm pulling up here, and it doesn't matter where you get a package from. It needs to be a package, the tar. It needs to be one of those type of packages. You could do other packages too, like we could make um, you could like make a blank database. You could have it download, like you could type in, you pull up another terminal. And I could type in sudo why do I have brain farts? I'm upset about work a little bit. I'm having some brain farts. So I'm going to look. I've got some stuff pulled up on the other screen. Cache directory, cache. Okay, so I could type. Okay. So you can see at the top here, I got sudo pacman dash capital SYYW, and that will have it downloaded. Okay, that'll download the files that come after, um, and um, and it puts it in a directory, a temp directory called this right here, temp that blank .db. Then you put behind it all the files that you would want to have in a repo. So you could do these. This would come from your official repositories, and not just. I mean, these files here are all approved. I mean, these you could just type in the Pacman S to download these. You don't have to go through an AUR helper or anything, and that's where you get these. And you would the process would be exactly the same. When if I was to download, I don't need these files. I already got them. So if you were to download those, you would do the same thing. You'd build the packet. These you don't have to build. What this does, when you do that command there, it actually builds the package in there. So the files that you get, let me just do it. Just to show you we'll just make a repo. So we're going to go home, and we're going to make a new folder here. We're going to call this Trump's dash repo. Trump needs to repo the White House. So we're going to call it Trump's repo. In that folder, I'm going to create another document, another folder called x86 underscore 64. That's where I'm going to put all these files. And now let's create so I'm going to go into this thing here, and I'm going to make the temp directory here. So I'm going to open up a terminal. As you can see, I'm in the x84 folder, and I opened up a terminal, and I'm going to make a directory, mkdir /tmp blank database. voila, it created that. So I got a blank database in there. So now I'm going to type in the command. I'm going to copy and paste. These are all, you just got to get all the files that you want to be in your repo here. So you type this command, sudo pacman sy-syyy space dash cache directory space dot / database path / temp / blank db, and after that, and a space after that, then every program or application you want to be on your operating system, you want to be able to install that locally, no internet needed. So you would type all those in. Each time you finish one, you put a space if you want to add more. And these are all the ones that I put on my system. Notice I put the drivers for Intel 2 and everything, because I mean, I will never have, and I don't like VLC, this version of VLC. I like the one flat pack, but you can't do a flat pack. You can probably make a flat pack repo, but I don't include that here. So that's another video later on down the road. But so let's put all that in here. I'm going to type, hit enter here. Put in your strong and complicated password. And now it's going to build all those packages. It will locate and find all the necessary dependencies that are required. I'm just going to hit enter default all. And I'm going to do the defaults here. Just hit enter. So it's downloading 103 packages. It's building those, and I'll show you how the process works. And then we will actually update the computer with this repository. Remember, we call it Trump's Trump's repo. He should absolutely repo the White House, 100%, 100%. As you can see, while that's downloading 103 packages, I'm going to go grab me a water real quick. Forgive me. Oh, I'm kind of in the way here. Set me up there. Back. Had to go get me one of these. Healthier. I'm recording, Byron, just so you know, bud, so you don't get embarrassed. Alright. I should probably pause this so you guys don't have to live through this entire process. And I could actually turn up the parameters. Allow for 10 parallel downloads. I wouldn't want to go any higher than that with the internet I got. So, I mean, I actually keep it at 5 parallel downloads. What that does, it lets you download more than one package at a time to save time. Because some packages are small. That could start after a big one, you know, or whatnot. So it does take a little bit. It's moving a little bit quicker now. Must have gotten some of the big ones out of the way. They're really not big. I mean, you could look. Some of these aren't really that big. That's, yeah, it's really not that big. Anyway, so keep going. It's moving right along. That's done. So that part is complete. I will just minimize that so I minimize that. And let's see what we do next. Just bring my cheat sheet over here so you can see what I'm looking at. And it looks like this is what I want to do, the repo add thing again. Let me minimize that. Let's bring up the terminal again. So let's hit clear. Okay, in the name. Okay, well the files aren't in there, are they? Let's pull up the folder. There's the blank database. It's locked, as you can see. There's the temp. There's the blank database. So these are all the files that it created. So I'm going to hit Control in this folder. Hit Control A, and it highlights everything in here. So I'm going to take this. Where's my cut? Ah, it's blank. It is blank. So I'm going to hit Control A, copy. I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to go back to that blank database. And I'm probably going to have to, I'm going to open this in root. So you open it in root because you cannot delete a locked folder if you're not in root. You could try it, do your blue in the face. This is not going to happen. So I'm going to just delete this folder here. Okay, I'm going to change this to type. I'm going to come down here. This if you have signatures. If you want signatures to be applied, you know, to verify the files are all good, then you can. I mean, it's your programs. You choose. You know, it's, you know, if your system's fried before you even do this. So I'm just going to delete these. Make my life happy, just to make myself happy. Just I like deleting things, I guess. Delete. Deleted. Okay. Remember, we named it Trump's Repo. So I'm going to find the T's. I should have created a OST. Where's T? Oh. No, okay. We haven't done that part yet. Okay. I got you. I'm reading myself. Getting ahead of myself there. So now we got all the files we need, all the packages. It's got the package tar, there's the STs. We're going to do the same thing. Let's pull up my cheat sheet. And we're going to do this command. I really don't need to... I know all these commands. I just had a brain fart a while ago. I'm going to copy and paste those, though. So we're going to copy, we're going to paste that, but remember, you got to have the name of the right repo. And it is it Trump or Trumps? Trumps, I think. So I'm going to hit caps, just to keep it right. Trumps. You don't have to hit Trumps dash repo. I think. Yep, there's the name. You can see the name at the top of the screen here. Trumps repo. So repo and blah 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 blah, blah and it's going to add some files. It does. They're create the empty database. All right. And now let's bring this up. We're going to do the next one over. Copy and paste that. It's take a few minutes. There was a lot of packages. That didn't take too long at all, did it? Really? Wasn't any of those. Just pull up that here and do pkg dot tar dot zst. Is that what my blank pkg dot tar dot zst dot pkg dot tar dot zst. Now let's enter. Alright, created all the files. So now I can exit out of that. I exit out of my cheat sheet here. And these are all arranged defined by type. And once again, I can delete these 4 files here at the very end. Just delete those 4. Trust me, it will work. Deleted. See ya. Then I go up to the T's. Now I should find some T's. There's the Trump repo. Take the first one there, rename it. Just highlight it or hit the rename and hit the arrow over to the right. Hit delete until the ends are gone. There's so many ways you can do it. That's just how I do it. Hit the arrow over to the right. Delete. Gone. Right. Now the repo is created. After the repo is created, then you got to go into your file system. And we're going to open this up in root. Password. Let me highlight this or maximize so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go to etc and I'm going to go to the Pacman because it's a Pacman package manager, and you go to Pacman config and you pull that up. I didn't pull up oh, that's PayMac. There's Pacman. Alright. See, here's where you do the parallels to 10 if you want. I keep it at 5. If you got really awesome internet, I recommend 10 for sure. But my internet, if it lags or it does do certain things, certain bytes aren't downloaded for a period of time, it'll fail to do the download. So down here you can see this is my repo that I created a while ago, and it's down here. So I'm going to copy this. See, when you do something in Linux, just save it. It's easier to save, and I just copied that, and I'm going to paste it with the Control V, and I'm going to name it Trump's repo. Oops. TRUMPS. Trump's repo. Copy. Paste. I'm going to hit Control S. And if you wanted to leave this, you can hit Control Q, and I'm going to do that. It quits it. So now we're completely out of that. So let's bring up. See if it's, Trump's repo's right here. And these are all the files. The repo should work. So let's pull up. Let's give it a try. Let's do a terminal. Maximize. So let's do a sudo pacman dash capital SYYU do everything. Put my password in. As you can see, Trump's repo comes right up. Everything's caps. That's repo, and it worked. So anything in that repo, if it wasn't installable prior to this, it would be installable now. Now, one thing you would have to do if you're doing this local, and you just want, you would want to include any of these files that would be necessary to install as well. You would want to make sure all those were in that repos. That when you did the download, you type. Well, I showed you the command you type, and then you add the packages that you want after that. You would want to add everything in it. So then you would want to go back to your Pacman folder, and you would want to quote out the that. So I'd go to File Systems here. You go to your etc, then you go to your Pacman. I'm not in root because I'm not going to do anything right now. I'm just going to show you. So you'd want to comment out multi-lib, like by adding this to it. You just comment it out. Hit Shift 3. Shift 3. It would comment it out. It would not pull from that. And you do the same up here with all these, the core and everything. Just comment it out. Really simple. So I'm just going to exit out of that. It's going to ask me, no, I don't want to save it. Alright. That's it. I mean, that's creating a repo. I mean, it's really, really simple. And it's important to me, you know, because you don't have to have, I mean, you want to send files to people, and, you know, you're going to have internet, you know, and stuff, but, you know, but you could, like if you're on a laptop, you could do any kind of work you want. You could do from in the privacy of your home. Then when you go into town, get your copy, find you a Wi-Fi spot somewhere. You could. That's when you could upload. You know, sync your computer to whatever. So it saves you some time to go ahead and get some of the side jobs, this kind of work out of the way. So. You just got the sync up process, to deal with instead of the entire thing when you do have internet. So there you go. That's it. That's pretty much it. Let's check my mail. I use Thunderbird as my mail client. I just like it. I get used to something you don't like to. Oh, it's telling me I'm live with my. That thing, that's pretty cool. Alright. Really wanting to see something from Fraley Schilling in here. Fraley Schilling. It should be in either my Only Linux inbox or this one. I should be hearing something from them. Actually applied somewhere. Certain things happen and you get frustrated, so you make decisions on the fly. But I absolutely love what I do. Just sometimes I'm not really fond of the politics, and that's where I struggle the most. My flesh really takes over when I'm talking about politics, real serious political things. I really don't understand. What we're witnessing now, I've never seen someone in office that just appears to hate the country. It's completely blows my mind. He's a puppet. He was installed. It's quite obvious, but it is what it is. So, I try my best not to even talk about it because it's such a strong subject. And really, there's just one thing. It doesn't matter who the president is if they do a great job. there's one thing that a president can do that would cause me to give them zero support. I would never make a vote based on the lesser of two evils. If someone's evil, you can't vote for them. I mean, that's just the stupidest thing, a comment someone can make, voting for the lesser of evils. Um, and when you don't vote at all, you're just basically giving the person that would you're giving one of the two of the whoever you're voting for, you're giving one of the two a vote that they didn't earn, pretty much what that means, I guess. Or you're you're not really doing any one of them a favor by not voting at all. um, well, it would certainly increase someone's chance, like an independent or someone like that, to win. Someone on a lower ticket or whatever. I guess it would give them an opportunity to do better in the poll, in the voting. But um, so, and in all seriousness, with politics and everything, if people would just read scripture, and I don't read it near enough, but I know it enough to know that we should probably be neutral in politics, neutral in government, but at the same, as a Christian, I've made tons of mistakes, of course, but but also, I know we read in Samuel, Samuel begged, for the king. They got their first king because God's prophet Samuel begged for a king. They begged for a king, king. And with the things going on in the world today, why that God was hesitant, right? You know why he didn't want to give us a king. He knows the ending and the beginning and the ending, so he knew this stuff was going to go down, and people would be frustrated and would have trouble dealing with it. So of course he didn't want to give us a king. He gave us every opportunity just to believe in him, and and we just couldn't deal with it, I guess. Anyway. So there you go. That's one of the reasons why I like Linux too. It's just freedom. I like my freedom. But anyway, back to the president. I support Trump, and I don't like everything that comes out of that man's mouth. I don't like everything that comes out of my own mouth. I know I say things that are not nice, but we're at a time now. Look at what's going on in the world. We don't have time to be nice. When God asked Saul to completely slaughter. You remember the instance with Samuel. Was it Daniel or Samuel? Anyway, I think Daniel was Saul's prophet, or was it Samuel? Anyway, all right, you know what I'm talking about. The story, you'll recognize the story. God had told them to, they were supposed to raid this village, and they were supposed to leave no one alive. They were supposed to completely wipe it out. So Saul got tired of waiting. The prophet hadn't showed up yet. So he went ahead and went in, wiped the village out, and saved a man, saved someone alive, and and of course Samuel. It was either Samuel or Daniel. I'm gonna have to read now because it's driving me crazy that I've forgotten that. Samuel or Daniel. Saul was pretty sure Daniel was around the time of Saul, but well, no, Saul was the first king, so it would have been Samuel, I guess. But well, he's the one that begged for the king, and he got him. So anyway, I think that's how it went down. But okay, let's call it Samuel, and rebuke me, and tell me in the comments that I've screwed up. That's fine. But he disobeyed and left the man alive, and the prophet slayed him. But that's probably why he didn't want to give us a king. He just knew all that stuff was going to happen. So, but anyway, like Trump, I support Trump. I don't think Trump's evil. I think he says some things that aren't nice, but is it nice that Saul had the task? Was it nice that Samuel had the task to go? Was it being nice to those people to slaughter them? They knew they were dying. They were, I'm sure, not all of them died instantly. That wasn't nice either. Now, they didn't call someone a dummy or a POS or anything like that, but when we're, I mean, who sets, who decide? I mean, was everything Jesus did nice? He didn't commit sin, but was he nice to everyone? Did he? Do we know that? I mean, what? Like, for the instance, when there was a point. I mean, you know the stories of Jesus. There was a point Mary was looking for Jesus, couldn't find him, and she found him. He was teaching. He was doing the work of. He was doing the work he was supposed to be doing. And there was a point when he could have defended his mom. Oh, your mom's looking for you, and there's a point where he could have elevated his mom, but he did not do that. She could have been offended by that. Well, we can't tell with a movie. You can watch movies, but I mean, there's not a whole lot of movies that are scripture. That are dead on scripture. So. There was times when the stories with Jesus interacting with mom that he could have been more support. I mean, defended her, or whatnot. You know what I'm talking about. But and he just chose to be the revealed. He just chose the truth instead. Of course, Jesus. I mean, he would never do anything with the purpose of offending anyone, but he would absolutely share the truth regardless of how it made someone feel. I mean, he would say, if I was doing something, if I called someone a dummy, whatever, or moron, you know what I'm talking about, whatever the case is, if I'm being truthful, if they're, if it's the truth, what would he do? Would he support? Would he want you to continue? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't. Yeah, there's some questions I would have for Jesus. I mean, I often wonder, and that's scary sometimes, thinking that when I meet God face to face, or when I go wherever you go to be judged, it doesn't really matter where that is. Anywhere Jesus is at would be heaven, right? I mean, anywhere anybody, wherever God is at, it's heavenly. You would feel like you're in heaven. So, anyway, all I know is I see Revelations is playing out right in front of my face. I can't believe we're talking about this. And this is a Linux video, but who am I? I just got on the subject, and it's really hard for me to stop. But I know that I have to stand before God, answer for anything I've done, and hopefully I've done enough good, or I've done enough to earn my spot, wherever that spot is, as long as it's not in a lake of fire, as long as he doesn't look at me and say, "Depart from me, I never knew you." As long as that don't happen, I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy guy. So I hope that I get to that point. And I know Scripture is, supposed to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If I'm being a POS, I would expect to be called out on being a POS. President's a POS. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you or what you support, but a POS is a POS, regardless of what our personal feelings are about them. If I'm a POS, I'm a POS. Whether I like it or not, whether I want somebody to call me that, if I'm being a POS, I'm a POS, okay? I mean, it's just that simple. So we're just supposed to roll over, and no, I don't think so. We don't have to, it's okay. So if someone says a few things, bad words that I don't like to describe someone, God knows if we're just in our words. So, anyway. There's just one thing. Like I said, it doesn't matter how good of a job a president does, a senator does, a congressperson does. There's one thing they can do that I would never, ever vote, never, ever support them. If someone is willing to kill babies, if someone is willing to put a suction cup in a woman's vagina and suck body parts out of that baby and kill that baby, and if you don't think they feel pain, watch the videos, pal, or sir, ma'am, whoever you are. Well, you're not my pal if you support that crap. But if you think that's okay, you are part of the world's problem. So if the president or whoever, in charge of people is willing to kill defenseless people, they shouldn't be in charge of jack crap. They shouldn't be in charge of jack crap. And I don't care what you think of me for thinking that. It's just the God's honest truth. If you're willing to kill a defenseless baby, you are a monster. You are a monster. You are not my buddy. You're not my friend. I only love you because my Father loves us all and all our faults. But if you're willing to do that, if you vote for that, you are absolutely an accessory. Whether you believe so or not, you are an accessory to murder by supporting someone who is okay with that. If you do not do the deed yourself, or even that person you supported does not do that deed yourself, you are supporting it. So you are an accessory to murder. Thou shalt not murder. Okay. When you murder his children, that's just an abomination. There's, like I said, it doesn't matter what. Let's just put me an example. Let's just use me as an example. If I murder a baby, and just so you know, back in the biblical days before the Bible was actually written, when it was just scripture, people were writing about that stuff. You were stoned to death. You would have been stoned to death if you was to kill a baby. You would have been stoned to death. Okay, why is it different now? Why is it such a severe crime to kill a dog, but it's okay to kill a human being? Yeah, dogs are awesome. I mean, God, a dog spelled backwards is God, right? But they are not God. Why is it bad, horrible, deplorable, wicked, vicious to kill a dog or an animal, but it's just okay to, you'd be in jail if you hooked up a vacuum cleaner, a high-tech shot back up to a dog, and you would be, and killed that dog, you'd be in jail. You'd go to jail for cruelty. You'd be in jail. You throw a dog up out of your head, dog bites you, you probably if the wrong person seen you, you'd probably go to jail because I know a guy that had to pay money because they shot a dog that was hurting things. It was their own property. So I mean, we live in a society where it's okay to kill human beings, but you can't kill a dog. Anyway, you understand the point. So I would not support anyone, family, blood, friend, people I've loved all my life. I don't support anyone who's okay with killing a defenseless baby in a cruel manner. You know, you hear animal rights activists. And some of them are right. I mean, you go to some of these great big like chicken farms and cow farms, pig farms. Just see how these animals are treated. You know, if that's bad, if they get in trouble, if they're on the news for animal cruelty, but you're okay with Planned Parenthood, you're okay with abortion, you're a one sick individual. You're one big monster. It is what it is. If I supported that, I'd be a monster with you, but I don't. And I know there's situations where, a woman is wronged by a man. They don't. They would never intend to have a kid. Um, you know, that's a tough place. That would be a tough place to be. But you can't kill. You can't justifying. Murder. Oh, it's my body, my choice. Well, let me ask you this: if it's your body, your choice, why is the baby the one dying in an abortion instead of you? Why does the baby have to pay for the jerk off POS who did that to you? Why does the baby have to pay for that? There's so many people in this world that want children that can't. And why you don't want a baby, and I understand if you want a baby. I don't understand, I think everyone should have babies. God says, make many and fill the earth. He didn't say, make many and fill the earth, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. But I think it's okay. You're not going to lose your spot, in the book of life if you don't have a kid. Okay, I don't think that's going to happen. Although he wants you to, actually even Saul, Apostle Paul, he didn't have kids. I mean, I'm sure he thought women were beautiful. I mean, but with his work, there was just a decision made, and he even said, it's better not to be married if you can't. You have to read all his letters and everything, his books, but it's better not to do certain things if you can't be there. It's just better not to do certain things. If you cannot, sometimes it's. I guess God would be okay if you didn't have a kid. He knows the end and the beginning, so I don't think we're going to lose our spot in the book of life if we don't. I think everybody should, but we shouldn't. Like I said, there's many people in the world that would love to have kids who just can't for whatever reason. Choices we made, choices our ancestors have made that made it, difficult for you to have a baby. And God's perfect, so when He creates a perfect vessel. It's the choices we make as human beings that cause some of these, things. And although God don't say, hey, if you do that, this is what's going to happen. He just warns us about certain things. And if we really study, really get into His Word, it'd probably eliminate those choices that we made that were the wrong choice, right? So there you go. But anyway, so I think I'll end the video pretty soon. It's 11:11. I will be up in, let's see, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4:30, between 4:30, 4:45, 5:15. So we all know what a snooze is, right? So it's hard for me to switch, my sleeping arrangement. So, um, I think my alarm may be set to 5:15, but when you're used to getting up at 4:30 to get your bus going because your route is on the other end of the county, you get this mental thing, alarm clock that goes off. So it doesn't matter if you set an alarm for a later time. Bam, presto, you're up at the wrong time. You're up earlier than you wanted to be, right? And it's hard to go back to sleep. Well, when you wake up and you got getting up in 45 minutes anyway, it's hard to go back to sleep because you're thinking, if I go back to sleep, am I going to wake up with my alarm? So that's a situation I find myself in quite frequently. But yeah, I just wanted to share this video. Like I said, I just don't understand how anybody could kill a baby. So it doesn't matter how good of a man that I would be. If I'm willing to kill a baby, one of God's children, I don't deserve my spot in the book of life. I really don't. I mean, when I strapped my uniform on when I served, that was done for everyone, regardless of their belief. But now I look back and I'm glad that life's behind me, because I would, defending someone who's willing to kill babies, it's just not something I would find joy in, and I really wouldn't deserve to wear my uniform if I was okay with that. I really wouldn't. If you're okay with killing babies, I mean, what's enough? Where does it end? I mean, really, what does it take? What does it take to change the essence of a man? When I say man, I'm talking, mankind. It doesn't matter if you're female or male. If you're okay with killing a baby, then I'm sorry. If it offends you, you're a monster. You're a monster. It's real. Crazy, ironic, whatever you call it. It's real. It makes you think when people are so upset about things, animal rights activists, and they're okay with killing babies, but it's just so crazy. It's just legalized murder. Abortion is legalized murder. Legalized murder. I don't know how anybody can support that. It's just mind-boggling. We're all here because our parents chose to have us. What if they'd have chose to abort us? We wouldn't know. We would not be here. But anyway, there's so many people in the world that can't have babies that would love to. So even though, if you find yourself, if you're a woman or a man, your parents, and you really don't want to bring a child into the world, you don't know if you're going to handle them, just don't abort the baby. Give it to someone who could father or mother that kid. There's too many people that can't, for whatever reason. They can't physically, they're not, they cannot have a kid for whatever reason. Let someone adopt. Yeah, no, you don't want, but there's that slim chance. There's a slim chance that during your pregnancy, you're going to fall in love with that kid. I mean, there's going to be a point in time when, unless you're just a sicko, there's going to be a point in time where you might fall in love with that kid. And let's just say, it happens after you've aborted it. Later on in life, you come across this family, they're playing with their kids, and you're going to be traumatized. Why take the risk of, the traumatization it's going to cause you because you did such a horrific thing, You had this doctor you forced its broke body parts off this kid's in there, dying inside your body and immense pain, you're going to think about that one day, and you might cry a bit. It's going to be bad. And how would you recover from that? But just don't abort your kids. Give it to someone. If you don't want your kid, you shouldn't spread your legs. But certainly you shouldn't murder the kid. Give the kid a chance. But if you were abused, if you were assaulted, you were raped, yeah, you don't want that kid, but give it to someone who will love it. Don't kill it. Put yourself, you're being assaulted. You didn't want that assault to happen. Come on. But give it to someone who will love it. If you can't love it because of that, your kid's going to bring back that assault, give it to someone who will love it. Don't kill it, please. Please don't kill your babies. Even if you didn't plan on it, don't kill your baby, please. You know what they stick a suction cup up. They stick a high-tech shot back up in the woman, and they kill that baby. They just suck body parts, organs, just everything. Just suck it out. They suck it out of the woman, okay? They kill that baby. Could you imagine your dog? Someone coming up to your doorstep and just slaughtering your dog. It's horrific, man. It's a human being. And if they don't use, just think of a woman in the third trimester. You don't think, when the baby's kicking, you can feel a baby kicking in your tummy. You don't think they have feelings? They absolutely do. They hear you. It's said that babies come out with a level of intelligence. How can they laugh or cry? How do they know to laugh and cry? Of course they got feelings. They're mad when they're coming out. They're crying. They're mad. Hey, they want to be back in there. They're probably mad that you let them out. But don't kill them. If they don't suck them out with a high-tech vacuum, they stick a clamp or a forceps. What are they called? They rip you up with their utensils. Come on, it's evil. That's evil, folks. It makes us monsters if we go for that. It makes us monsters. Don't be a monster. Just give your baby up. Don't kill your babies. Give your baby up for adoption. Someone wants that baby. But, just give yourself a chance, to fall in love with that baby. I'm broken myself, I've lost my will two or three times. I didn't care if I lived or died. I gotta be honest, I'm not too concerned whether I wake up in the morning. I wake up in the mornings. I just feel like a blob. I had an experience somewhere, and I won't tell you where. I've had an experience and that I've really, really never recovered from. I was involved with something before. I had gotten out of it, and we'll call it a re-enlistment. I was recruited for doing some things, and I did these things, and something happened, and it was absolutely horrifying. And I really don't care if I wake up, but I want to. I want to love, and I want to love people, and I want to have relationships with people that I haven't seen in a long time. But it's really hard. It's really hard. So I'm telling you, don't give your kid up. It's hurtful. It's just not good. So anyway, this repo turned into all kinds of stuff, right? Rabbit trail afterwards. But how to do a repo now, and my feelings. on certain things. Certainly abortion. I mean, killing the slaughtering, the evil slaughtering of a baby is, you know, it's monstrous. It's evil. Regardless of how you feel about it, whether you think it's your, like I said, always remember this: if it's your body, your right, your choice, and it should be your body destroyed, not the baby's. So if you don't want the baby, let the baby live, and you take the dirt bath. How about that? How about that? What a world. Love you guys. God bless. Have a great evening.